Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much again for joining me here. Hope you're having a great day. Let's take another look here at Ethereum, double check a few key factors, and we'll talk a little bit about why we took a long position with this coin. And so far, we're up over 21% in just under 2 hours. So I'll explain why I took the trade, but also more importantly, why I think bigger picture, this coin does look like it wants to take off and continue much higher. $4,000 is that kind of psychological resistance, and we're broken through that, and there's a lot of positive stuff here. So let's take a quick look at the backend data first and just recognize a few important things and kind of go from there. And if you're new to the channel, you've been watching for a while, hit the like button, comment below. Really appreciate you watching and just being a consistent part of my life. I hope to always continue to be a consistent part of yours. So let's take a look here at Ethereum. Last look back at last 7 days on the left-hand side here. We can see, again, prior to sending that signal, kind of looking at this trade earlier today, I had a lot of alerts trigger. We saw a significant amount of liquidation between 4,000 to 4,100. So it may not seem like a lot, but each one of these red bars is roughly about maybe $2.5 billion. So just, 10, 20, maybe in the range of 20 to $25 billion in liquidation between 4,000 and 4,100. And we're halfway there, if that gives you perspective. So again, I think there's a decent chance we see the price continue much higher because of that. There's also a lot of liquidation here, pretty significant amount at 4,250. So keep in mind 4,250, 4,300, that's strong likelihood of us hitting that level. We have a lot of liquidation between now and roughly 4,400, okay? We can also see that the liquidation delta has shifted here pretty significant. We're seeing it more bullish now. And generally speaking, you want to kind of get on the right side of tracks and trade with the grain, okay? So we have more people taking longs and shorts, and in turn, it makes sense not to try to short into that, okay? Again, there's some folks that just love shorting resistance levels, but we don't really have a resistance level minus the current 4,100. We could potentially double top, but I think that's pretty low likelihood based on how much volume is flowing into this coin, how well it's doing. Let's take a look at here, open interest. We can recognize a lot of open interest here locally at about 3,900. That's pretty much the heaviest concentration right now for people, somewhere between 3,900 and 3,950. Okay, that's just basically a lot of folks are adding to their position at that price point, which makes perfect sense because we got this 0.618 fib level here, holding strong as a nice support. As you can see, the price action worked itself into a potential power of 3 pattern here, where the price action is in our expansive wave now. Okay, we're seeing a lot of these patterns occur right now in trading. It's a very manipulative type of pattern, but when you kind of get the eye for it after a while, you realize that for the most part, it's a pretty consistent thing, and it's somewhat easy to identify. Take a look at the weekly rather, and we'll work our way down. We're over every single moving average. Everything's looking pretty solid here. We're really close to 70 on the RSI too, which is generally favorable. It does imply we're coming up on a resistance, but it also implies we may start to run fast. And a lot of times that happens with coins like this, especially Ethereum. This one is kind of like the initial trendsetter for a lot of altcoins. So if we can see ETH continue to take off here, I think alts are going to start to bottom out and stabilize. A lot of them are doing so already. But our money flow index is above the RSI, and while stochastic's kind of topping out, it's not really hitting that level yet. So for the most part, we're looking pretty darn good here. Okay, the weekly looks fantastic. Let's quickly double check the daily time frame, work our way down, and recognize that we're above the 20-day SMA. That's a very important level. We've been maintaining that level for quite some time now. And if we take a look here as well, we can see the RSI closer to about 70, once again, kind of reinforcing the fact that we're getting closer to a resistance level. But also, if we break above that, we could continue to run for some time. So again, I love when prices get above, the RSI gets above 70, it starts to become a really crazy cool situation. So either way, ETH is looking very strong here. We got a MACD convergence soon, or on the horizon. Stochastic swinging up. There's a lot of reasons why you don't short in this coin, mainly because we got the money flow index above the RSI. That tells us that there's more sustainability in this price point, and that people still consider this to be a good value. That's a good sign. 4-hour time frame, above all moving averages once more, big surprise. We can see RSI is up over 50 on the RSI. Stochastic is shifting down, but is trying to bounce here again. And of course, we got the MACD converging. Okay, so when you have this MACD, FU, or MACD in general, it's helpful on the 4-hour time frame. That's probably one of the better time frames to see it. But again, there's a lot of confluence. You look at the weekly, look at the daily, and so for the 4-hour, every single time frame is reinforcing significant convergence. And we look here, we've got this local point of control at about 48.70, 38.70, roughly 3,900 is a round number. We can see a lot of control at that area. Okay, so again, with the price coming down here, that was not a bearish divergence, folks. That was basically just a last attempt at manipulation, and the price returned back on track here. So again, of all the coins today, ETH is the only coin that's really performing. Again, the only coin that we took a trade with here so far. Honestly, folks, the current market right now, it's difficult to find trades based on how manipulative the market is. And I'm not blaming it on manipulation, period. I'm just saying in general, I have not had this much trouble trying to find good trades in a while. And it's usually a good sign because it implies that we're in like a crazy bullish market. Bitcoin's almost at 108,000. I mean, there's a good chance we're going to see a lot of coins continue to surge. But for right now, we're just getting that little balancing act right now for a lot of altcoins. But with ETH being kind of the front runner here, starting to take off, I think we're in really good shape, especially if we close 4,100 or higher. Either way, Ichimoku Cloud's confirming you leave your long position open. So again, to those who took this trade here, keep your long position open. I think we're going to see further upside. Once more, strong likelihood we're going to hit at least 4,100, but secondary to that, 4,400 would be a strong consideration too. So big picture, ETH is looking pretty strong, primed and ready to rock and roll. So congrats again to our community members for that. Congrats to those who are taking advantage of our Bitunix deposit bonus this month. Use my link to register. You'll get some awesome rewards and benefits for any future trading competitions. Last month we had like a 60K prize pool. They're a really, really good exchange. No KYC or VPN. I'll post our playout chart on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord as per usual. We'll look forward to seeing the next one. Thanks so much for your time. We'll see you soon.